Now to start things off, in Copper, for attack, we're going to have Sledge. Sledge is a free armor, 1-speed operator, gets access to the Mossberg shotgun, or the L8 assault rifle. You always want to run the assault rifle. High fire rate, high damage, pretty solid weapon. For pistols, you can only have the P226, pretty good to be honest. And for gadgets, you can either run frags, flashes, or EMPs. All solid options, however, because it combos better with his kit, I'd recommend you run the frag grenades. Now for Sledge's hammer, simple, easy to use. You press the ability button, it will swing the hammer. You can use this to break holes in the floor, holes in the wall, castles, bulletproof utility, basically anything. If there's anything in your way, hammer time baby. And then for defense, I recommend you play Root, just due to the fact that you have the armor pack, which gives you more health on top of the free armor that you already have. It gives you the ability self-revive as well, which is always nice. And the MP5 is going to be your go-to weapon on Root here, and you have an ACOG on it, and it's pretty low recoil. Then for gadget, I recommend you run the impact grenades. And for secondary weapons, if you really are new to the game, I recommend you use the P9 because it's a low recoil, high fire rate, high magazine pistol. Meanwhile, the revolver has a lot of kick to it and a lot of struggle, even for myself at times. So with that being said, let's move on to the next rank. But before we do that, welcome back to the NewTwo channel. If you're new around here, I'm New2. Please subscribe and like. Go follow my Twitch and TikTok on the description of this video. Please share it with a friend. And of course, if you learn anything new, please let me know in the comments. And if you have any operators that you recommend for any rank, put them down in the comments as well. I'll heart any comment that's actually good. So with that being said, let's move on to the next rank. For bronze, I recommend you run Ash on attack. This is due to the fact that the R4C is a strong, powerful assault rifle. And if you really get the recoil down on Ash, you'll be breezing through the ranks. Probably the most picked entry fragger in the game right now, and that's for good reasons. You have the R4C, which is pretty mid recoil. It's not too hard, but it's not too easy. High fire rate, high damage, and of course, it's just a beamer. For pistols, you also have the options between the Music or the USG. I recommend you run the Music. That's just because it has 58 damage compared to the 42 on the usage. Then for gadgets, it's just whatever you want to bring. If you're going from above, I recommend you run the breaching charges. Any other time though, claymores, because who doesn't love getting free picks? Then for a breaching round, it's a solid utility. It's good for clearing bulletproof utility from afar, and of course making new angles for you to take advantage of. Then moving over to defense for bronze, you have Doc. Doc has the exact same weapon as Rook, so you're not going to be learning any new recoil. For secondary weapons, I recommend you run the Bailiff. It's a mini shotgun, good for making holes, setting up the sight, which you're going to need to do the higher you get in the rank. For secondary gadgets, you have the option between the bulletproof or the barbed wire. I recommend you run the barbed wire because it's so powerful in this current meta. And for Doc's ability, it's a stim pistol. You take damage, press your ability button twice. Someone else in your team takes damage, get it out, shoot them with it. Make sure it's not your pistol though. For silver on attack, we have Thatcher. Thatcher has the exact same weapon as Sledge, the L8, or the Mossberg shotgun. Like I said on Sledge, you really want to run the L8, low recoil, high damage, pretty good fire rate, and you're stuck with the exact same pistol as Sledge, that being the P2. For gadgets, it's the same as Ash, so it's all familiar territory. However, where Thatcher's power really comes into play is his EMP grenades. This is the main reason why Thatcher is banned in the majority of your rank matches. The EMP grenade allows you to disable majority of the gadgets on the defending side. Now this can be extremely powerful because, for example, if there's a Maestro Evil Eye looking at you, or there's a bulletproof camera looking at you, and you can't get in the angle to shoot it, you throw an EMP at them. If there's a bandit battery on a wall that you're trying to open with your hard breach, throw an EMP at the wall. Thatcher is the make-all solution to all problems. Then, for defense, I recommend you run Frost. Frost has free welcome mat, bear traps. I'd recommend you place them under windows. When someone jumps in, they get downed, they have to pull themselves out. If they pull themselves out, they leave a blood trail, move slower, or if their friend, teammate, pulls them out the Frost mat, then they'll just be on 20 HP. So on Frost, I recommend you run her SMG with the secondary shotgun available, so you can set up the sight with secondary shotgun, and then use your SMG to try to get the kills onto anyone that walks into your Frost mats. For secondary gadgets, only ever run the deployable shield on Frost. Why? Because you have to vault over the shield, meaning they have to either take the chance and not drone out if there's a Frost mat behind the shield, or they pre-fire the floor, which again gives you another audio cue. So, with that being said, we've done silver, on to gold. Sticking with the same theme of Canadians, we're sticking with Buck. Buck has just lost his Gong 6, but that doesn't mean he is not one of the most powerful operators in the game. He has the C8 assault rifle, pretty easy to learn recoil, any scope you ever want, good fire rate, and overall, pretty good killing machine. For secondaries, you're going to be running the MK1 or the 9mm. Pretty good pistol, it's not too bad, but it'll do. Now, for secondary gadgets, this is where it gets interesting. If you're doing entry fragging on Buck, you should be running the stun grenades. However, if you're running the hard breaches, you will be going for the hatches. So take whatever utility you need for that site. And finally, for Buck's ability, the Skeleton Key. It's an unarmored battle shotgun, it's good for killing, good for making holes in sight lines, pretty solid weapon if you ask me. Now, for defense, Kapkan. Now you may be asking, Mr. New 2, why didn't you put Kapkan lower on the list? Because I feel that Kapkan does have a bit of a skill ceiling to him. You really gotta know how attackers are going to be taking the room or going through the door for you to get value out of your Kapkan traps. What I mean by this is, for example, on Border, what I like to do is the double door that takes you from break into CC. I put Kapkan traps to the bottom left of the double door that takes you from break room into CC behind the couch, meaning anyone coming from outside into the break room will not see the Kapkan traps unless they pre-droned it, which oftentimes leads for me getting a free kill. For weaponry, only ever run the VSN. It's the most powerful SMG on defense, one of at least. The PMM, definitely the best pistol, aside like some of the more utility based pistols like the Deagle, like the Kertos that can make head holes and whatever. PMM is just a straight monster when it comes to dealing damage. Then for secondary utility, you're only ever running that C4. You could run the bulletproof, but the C4 is just more valuable. For plat, I recommend Hibana. Hibana is such a strong operator. Her gadget, the X-Kairos launcher, you can either shoot it in pellets of 6, 4, 2, 6 for making holes that you can crouch through, 4 for opening hatches, and 2 for opening hatches but slower in case they're impact tricking a hatch, like for example in Clubhouse. For weaponry, you have the Type 89 assault rifle or the Supernova shotgun, whatever you want. Literally, you can run whatever you want. If you feel comfortable in the shotgun attack, run the Supernova. If you feel comfortable on the Type 89, run the Type 89. It's up to you. The Type 89, low magazine, high fire rate, pretty decent recoil. Supernova, it's just a chunk machine. It's a chunk. For secondary weapons, you're only ever running that Baron 9. If I catch you on anything else, it's on site. And then for secondary gadgets, you're only ever running stun grenades. You are never running breaching charges. For defense, we're going to have Legion. Legion has the access to the T5 SMG or a shotgun that you will not be using. For secondary weapons, you're going to be running the Super Shorty shotgun. Try say that 12 times over, 10 times fast. Holy shit. For secondary gadgets, Legion, I recommend that you run the bulletproof over the observation blockers unless you have a strategy in mind. And for Legion's ability, the goo mine, you should be chucking this anywhere. If you don't want to get snuck on, throw a mine. If you don't want an attacker to be in a corner, throw that mine. If you don't want an attacker to be anywhere, throw the mine. If you throw a mine down and they walk into it, that's value, because they're going to be ticking away, taking damage, making noise, being unable to sprint, making them probably an easier kill than they were before for you to get. And who doesn't want easier kills when you have a T5 SMG, which is a laser beam? For Emerald, I have Ace. Ace is a hard breach that can breach from range, and there isn't much more to say about his gadget. Throw it at a wall, it will open. The only downside to running Ace is the fact that you can only make crouch holes unless you use 2, but he makes up for that in the sense that he has complete drip when you buy the Team Secret skin. And you also have the AK-12, which is the most powerful assault rifle in the game before it got nerfed. But now it's still good though, it's still really good, it's still a very powerful assault rifle. For secondary weapons, you only have the P9. Like I said, on route, strong, secondary weapon, low recoil, good at killing people. And for secondary gadgets, you have claymores or breaching charges. I prefer claymores just because I'm doing breaching. I don't want to get ran out on. For defense, we have mute. For mute, I recommend you run the Mossberg shotgun combined with the SMG-11 secondary SMG. For secondary gadgets as well, we're never going to be running the bulletproof on mute. We're going to be running the C4. And for your ability, you have 4 signal disruptors. You put these mute jammers on any common drone spots, so doorways, drone holes, or you can put them on breaches to prevent the attacking team from opening the wall unless they bring EMPs. For mute, your main goal is to delay time, draw out the round so you can get into the close quarter scenarios and take advantage of the fact that you have a shotgun. For diamond on the attack now, we have Yang. Yang is a 2-speed 2-armor attacker with the T95 LMG, slow fire rate, high damage, high magazine. For secondary weapons, you're stuck with the Q9, unfortunately. However, for secondary gadgets, you have the option between hard breaches or smoke grenades. It's generally, again, it depends on the site. If you're going for a smoke plant play, Yang is extremely powerful in those scenarios. You bring the smokes, of course. Now, if you're just trying to open hatches, you have the hard breach gadget. Now, what makes Yang so powerful is before, when Warden was meta in the 1.5 era, you could not get value out of Yang because you're always having to go against someone who makes your ability obsolete. But now, no one plays Warden, and Warden's been hard nerfed. Yang, with the Candelas, having 4 of them as well, oh my god, she's a beast. I still don't see enough people playing her because her gun is awkward to use. I feel it becomes less awkward to use when you run a suppressor. However, that's just personal preference, and it might just be a sound effect that makes it better. But do be wary though, with your Candelas, that you don't flash your teammates, and that's the reason why I put her in diamond, because the amount of times I've saw my ranked teammates on Yang and flash me, honest to god, it drives me insane. Now for the defending side in diamond, we have smoke exact same weaponry as Mute. I recommend you run the barbed wire because you're going to be anchoring on sight when you're playing smoke, and it gives you more of an audio cue for when attackers are pushing you. And for Smoke's gadget, it gets free vapes, canisters, and what Smoke's gadget does, it denies time. If you want attacker to not push you from a certain angle, smoke them off. If you don't want them to plant, smoke them off. If you don't want them there, smoke them off. If you want somewhere to sit inside and give yourself a little breathing space, smoke yourself. Smoke, overall, is just a very versatile operator, and 100% you should be trying to learn how to use him. However, he does come with a skill curve of having the SMG-11 and the Mossberg shotgun. And finally, for champion, we have Dokkaebi on attack. The reason I put Dokkaebi on attack is because you really need to be in communication with your team. You only have to use your phone calls when your teammates ask you to, and her DMR, quite hard to use. If you don't have a trigger finger, you're going to be struggling on Dokkaebi. However, if you can communicate with your teammates and you can shoot a DMR, oh my goodness, she's such a powerful operator. Secondary weapons as well. The SMG-12 is amazing, 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 amazing. Probably the second best secondary weapon in the game behind SMG-11. And on top of that, for secondary gadgets, you have the option between smoke grenades, stuns, or impact TMPs. It's just whatever you need for attacking. There is a reason why Dokkaebi is one of the most banned operators in the game currently, and that's just due to the fact that she's so versatile, and honestly, you can't go wrong with her in your lineup. The only downside to Dokkaebi is she is really hard when it comes to learning the SMG-12's recoil and getting your trigger finger on the MK14. And finally, for the last operator of the video, now finally for defense and champion, I have Izami. I think everyone saw this coming. She has access to the VSN SMG, powerful SMG. And for secondaries, you have access to the Deagle, which is a powerful secondary weapon, good for making holes, good for getting kills, overall versatile weapon. For secondary gadgets, you have the option between barbed wire and impact grenades. It just depends on the site. If you really need barbed wire to hear anyone coming and flanking you, run barbed wire. If you need impacts for destroying your own keeper barriers, run impacts. Keeper barriers, all you got to do, if there's an angle you don't want to be shot from, throw a keeper barrier there. It will just delay the attackers from getting in and killing you, and oftentimes you can make some nasty one-ways. If you have any free time after this video, I recommend you search up G2 Rainbow Six Siege and go watch the most recent video that they put on their channel, which is Doke explaining how to play Izami at such a pro level. I play a lot of Izami. I still learnt shit. So if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Go follow my Twitch and TikTok on the description of this video. Thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see you guys next week.
There,
He's dead.
one.
Money, man.
I'm an alpha male, let's swing this shit.
Hey, wait. Nice. A close swing thing. Nice. I'm flashing pillar. Oh my god.
Nice wall hack, man. Nice.
We turned alpha male.
Wow. Oh my god, man.
Nice shot, bro.
That for cheating.
Oh, what the
man.
fuck just happened?
I'm gonna clip that, send that.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank you.